Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of LanceScurv. If you don't see us online anymore on social media platforms, you can also and always go to LanceScurv.com. LanceScurv.com. We'll flash this banner again, but I'll just pop it out there so you can see all the ways to contact us. We're also on iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts, to say the least. Those are the major ones that we're on. We're on every social media platform, whether they like me or not. And we've been out here since 2001 as a podcast host, illustrator, and blogger, and a few other things that I won't even mention. But I just want to say tonight, how can I say it? I ran across some things online that kind of stoked my fires to speak on this a little deeper. I'm not here to say that I am the ultimate authority. I don't come out here for confrontation. I'm just in my own corner of cyberspace expressing my opinion, which to me is my truth. And I just want to welcome everybody on in. By name, Piggy Dodson, Melisha Hare, Indigo King, Gina G. I'm here very much in an introspective mood. I had a quiet day up here in the mountains of West Africa, Ghana. And a lot of things came to me. And I'm going to say some things that many might disagree with, and some might agree with. They may say I'm way off. Right now, I really don't care. It's going to be interesting, because more and more as we do these shows, I'm going to speak from the heart and from what I see. You know, as an artist, you can't really measure where to drop the pencil or the pen. I'm a detailed pen and sometimes pencil artist. I use pencils to get the placing right. So when I drop the ink is in the exact space that I want it to be. I actually shade with ink and a little bit of pencil, but it's very instinctive. It's very intuitive. And when we speak about religion and spirituality, they can appear to overlap, but more and more as I delve into what my intuition tells me, I understand that they can be two different things. And I understand that it's put out there by men who have their own interpretations, even though they say they're divinely inspired. But the way the world is now, it's quite evident that somebody's lying to us. I've always been a person who, on whatever level I'm on, of awareness, I will always speak the truth of that level. And the more and more I ascend into experiencing levels of consciousness that I can't really explain all the way, I'm not going to turn it around because they're not books that can explain it for me, or me using fancy words, or just trying to be the one at the podium speaking truth because of narcissistic needs of attention. I really don't care if anybody disputes my perspective, because maybe I might agree with you days, weeks, or months, or years from now. This is not about a battle. And oftentimes we see in man's religion, it's always a battle. Well, I'm Baptist. I'm Pentecostal. Yeah? I'm Episcopalian. I'm Methodist. I'm atheist. I'm a Muslim. I'm a Jew. Judaism, this, and everybody's fighting for control and power over the other one. And people, many, countless, I would say, should I say thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions, down to the eons, have fought and killed others because of religion. And we go all out for the foolishness that's put out there to keep us distracted. What religion do the animals follow? What religion do the plants follow? They seem to be in order and following their dictates as to how they're made. And we're supposed to be the biggest, largest, conscious, highest beings, and we're acting out of character. We're acting out of the way we're supposed to be made. So there's something else going on that we don't see. There's something else that's going on that we don't understand. We don't submit to that inner voice. We know right from wrong. We know it. When we go and fornicate or commit adultery, we go off and sneak in the shadows. You know, you get the hotel room, go inside, call me and tell me what room it is, and I'll follow behind you. I'll park down by Walmart and walk 3 blocks. That type of stuff. We know what we're doing. We know what we're doing. If you say that, you know, you did what you did, you didn't do it 5 o'clock in the afternoon during rush hour traffic in front of the evening news cameras on the double yellow line on the major boulevard where there's a traffic jam, you snuck and you did what you did. We know what we're doing. And we use this religion foolishness to cover our tracks, bend scripture, argue about this, argue about that. I don't care about that anymore. Matter of fact, I'm a black man. That's a little, you all know that by now. But even on that level, I will always defend truth. I will always defend what's right. I will always call out what's wrong. I will always call out racism and unfairness, but I will also call out the foolishness that we as black people do, right? That's where we have a problem, because I'm supposed to give a pass to everybody with their foolishness. I'm not doing it, especially on this platform. You come on here with some narcissistic foolishness and condescending foolishness, and, you know, you're supposed to know what it is you talk about, but you're talking down to the people who are asking questions. You out. Kick. Ain't nobody that important. Ain't nobody that important. You see what I mean? That's what it is. And even with this black stuff that I talk, I'm ascending from that. I'm not going to stop doing it. But the foolishness that we do to each other, talking pro-black foolishness, and I say foolishness because we don't really follow through with what we talk about. Malcolm X died broke. Who cared about him? Business as usual after that. So we ain't working the way we're supposed to work. Oh, we wake up in unity. No, I don't do that no more here on YouTube or any social media platform. I come in, deliver what was put on my heart, and I'm out. I ain't looking for no friends. I mean, yeah, I have my family I love here in the chat room and some who are not here. Don't get me wrong. But I'm not out here looking for fame. I'm not looking to be loved. I'm not looking for an audience to clap or whatever. I'm not looking for that. I'm going to say what it is that I have to say from the heart. And if I'm wrong later on, I'll apologize. I'm sorry. There's no more playing anymore. We got the people out here, they're all they're looking for is cash apps, the hustle. The cash app people, I call them. And I got mine pinned up right on the top. And I think I'm kind of real. I don't get much. But the frauds get it. And I'm doing the work. Let's just call it for what it is. I'm not bitter because y'all don't give me no money. Times are hard. I understand that. But the games that people play, and people want to jump on. I wrote my book now. I'm gonna hustle. I got to get out here and doing stupid ass game. If you could only know what I know from my side and the games that people play, I am not going to promote anybody fraudulent. I'm not going to do it. You're out. The minute you show your ass, you're out. I'm saying all this for a reason. because some of these people are demons. That's what they are in human form. I just want to read a few words I put together earlier before I get into my feelings on this whole thing and explaining why I said aliens are demons, because I really feel that right now. It just flipped my world, the couple of things I meditated on, and I spoke about this before, about the title, the show, The Alien Takeover. I just want to go a little deeper. I'm just going to go intense, and I'm probably going to jump on Clubhouse after, not the conference line, because folks can't keep quiet in the background. One person's talking, yeah, right, Shut up, let a person talk. Whoever that's for is for. I get a lot of complaints with that. So many people just want to be heard. Here it is. The power of silence. Navigating spiritual death or depth. I should have said death, right? Just take out the P and put a A. Depth in a noisy world. In a world that often values loud opinions and constant chatter, there's a profound beauty in the art of silence. For those who have delved into the depths of spirituality and gained higher levels of awareness, the importance of remaining silent in certain company becomes evident. This silence is not born out of arrogance or the desire to isolate oneself, but rather out of a profound understanding of the spiritual journey and the potential consequences of sharing that journey with those who may not comprehend it. We explore the significance of staying silent in the face of spiritual depth and the challenges that arise when navigating a world that may not yet understand the transformative power of spiritual growth. Embarking on a spiritual journey is a deeply personal and transformative experience. As individuals progress on this path, they often undergo profound shifts in consciousness, developing a heightened awareness of their inner selves and the world around them. This heightened awareness allows them to navigate life with greater clarity, avoiding the pitfalls of lower vibrational decisions that may lead to unnecessary suffering. However, the very nature of spiritual growth can be elusive to those who have not yet embarked on a similar journey. Attempts to share these experiences with others who may not understand can lead to misunderstandings, misinterpretations, and even skepticism. In a society where spiritual depth is not always valued or recognized, remaining silent becomes a choice born out of wisdom rather than secrecy. When individuals have not developed spiritually, their reactions to the transformed person can range from ignorance to hostility. Rumors and misconceptions may arise as a result of their inability to comprehend the lighter and easier existence that comes with heightened spiritual awareness. The spiritually awakened individual, sensing trouble from afar, chooses silence to avoid the unnecessary burden of explaining the intricacies of their journey to those who may not be ready to listen. Those who have attained spiritual depth often find their lives to be lighter and more aligned with higher vibrations. They can sense trouble before it manifests and make decisions that steer clear of negative consequences. This ability to navigate life with grace and ease is not a result of arrogance, but rather a natural consequence of their spiritual growth. In a world that may not fully appreciate or understand the depth of spiritual growth, The choice to remain silent is a powerful one. It is not a withdrawal from society, but a conscious decision to preserve the sanctity of one's spiritual journey and protect it from the potential negativity of ignorance. By embracing the power of silence, individuals on the spiritual path can continue to radiate their light without being weighed down by the misconceptions and judgments of those who have not yet embarked on the transformative journey within. Excuse my French. Stop fucking with these fools out here. Stop messing with these fools out here who watch you, your every step. You know, I mentioned to people that I have a friend who has powers almost like a hacker. He could be if he chose to be one. He gave me another report recently. I had one September last year, and many of the fraudulent around me scattered. Why you run? Because I got the proof of the foolishness that you brought around me, and I feel so much better. Now I get it again, and I really get to see what's around me. I didn't ask for it. I don't ask for people's emails. I don't ask for people's, what they do and what they say, and I can't help it. He does this for me, but boy. So it makes me more defined on my mission as I remain silent in a lot of things, and it makes me want to speak on the things that hit my spirit. And today's topic is something that hit my spirit. So I'm not going to be able to quote scripture. I'm not going to be able to say names, but I can just tell you what has been brought to me today. I only ate one small meal today. I didn't even want to eat today. Now I feel I'm a little hungry. I'm 5 hours ahead of the East Coast, so right now it's 10 minutes to 11 o'clock at night. So I don't know if I'm going to eat a lot or a little, but I'm only going to put like an hour in this and get right to it. A lot of things I remain silent on in the world out here because it doesn't make any sense for me to argue with people, right? Excuse the F-bomb that I said later on, but sometimes you have to put a little spice in the food to give a little punch so you can appreciate the flavor. But the bottom line is, and I said this on the banner, religion, and we're going to get to the aliens now, right? I just have to talk on these things. Religion of any kind is a damn lie. You see, I don't know how soon people say in religion, oh, in God's time. It's a little different than our time. But let me tell you something. Things are moving fast. There's a lot of agendas out here, a lot of things that are being pushed unbeknownst to us who claim to be conscious. But we're fighting, I'm FBA, and this one ADOS, and this one indigenous, and we got some good shows coming up that's going to address this. Maybe tomorrow, maybe the next few days. Stay tuned. It's going to come. So some things we need to clarify and move up from. I'm not saying move on from, because these things are still happening in the world. We can't ignore it. But we can't get so submerged in it that we don't ascend because we're caught up on that one level. I love listening to Public Enemy. It's one of my favorite groups. Hip hop, rap, whatever you want to call it. But I have grown since that time. Oh, lots of times I'm in the shower. I put on Fight the Power, Rebel Without a Pause, Black Steel in the Hour of Chaos, and I'm all in it, down in it. I got a letter from the government the other day. I read it. I love it. That's a part of me that will never die. But I have to understand that in 2023, I'm a lot different than I was in 88 and 89. There are more branches on my tree. There's more awareness. And it's nice to go back and reminisce. But you can't stay looking in the rearview mirror too long when you're driving because you got stuff ahead of you that you can hit. that you need to avoid. So you use the wisdom that you gained from the past to help you navigate into the future as you live in the present. This is not scripted. I'm just freestyling this talk right now. But haven't you understood or can grasp the fact that religion ain't doing nothing for you? Religion, man's religion. And we fighting over it and we rolling our eyes and this person's a Muslim and I'm a Christian. Who put this thing together? That sounds like I'm talking about Public Enemy. Feels like, who put this thing together, huh? Me? That's Scarface. Who I trust? Me. I'm starting to say those things more. Right? Who put this thing together, huh? Me. Who I trust? Me. That's who. My inner circle is so small. It's a circle, right? It would choke me if it was a necklace. It's so small. I wouldn't be able to breathe. The tighter, the better. Keep it tight. Death does not mean ascension. Some people think they can go on their whole life doing what the hell they want to do. And because they die or transition, if you want to say, it doesn't mean ascension. It doesn't mean you're better off. Oh, they were so evil to everybody, cursing everybody out, trying to screw everybody's wife and beating people up and just a bum, but he's in a better place. No, you're not. If you don't study in school and apply yourself in class, you ain't getting no degree. You just wasted your money or you're going to get left back. So stop thinking this mysterious thing called, look, if you look in nature, you see that you better do right when you're here. This ain't no Christian religion talk. This is what it is. If you don't prove yourself worthy, how you going to go to the next level? It does not mean ascension. It means a spiritual garbage can for you. Some say, oh, you're going to come back and repeat the process. Well, this system ain't going to waste too much time on you if you ain't trying. So try while you're here. Make a difference. Stop showing out, acting like you're so damn holy. Because look, I got some serious vices I'm into. LanceScurv, yes. I ain't telling you what it is. I got friends who know. But I got work to do. So I ain't going to sit up here and I'm holier than thou and you see my body in the casket or if I'm burned or whatever it may be. Oh, yeah, we know he went to a better place. No, I don't know if I'm going to a better place if I go right now. So stop fronting and do your homework. This level doesn't matter because in due time, very soon, we're all done for if we don't do what's right. I just want to say on the banner, the sweetest cuisine for them, the aliens, is our lower vibrational indulgences. Okay. They talk about there was alien contact. And we take it like these little men in spaceships. I feel that that is somewhat of a distraction. We're looking up and we're not seeing that what's around us, these aliens that are demons are around us, whether we see them or not. If you look at the illustration on the banner, we're looking around for something like that or similar. But that chick that you just met that you started screwing around with, that could be her. That dude that you're trying to seduce because he got a lot of money, but you're going to give him some this weekend, that could be him. We don't know what we're laying up with. We don't know who our co-workers are. Hell, we don't even know who our family is. Some of us have family that were put there to hinder us and stop us from our destiny. But it's not just the mild talk anymore. Well, get your soul right because time is coming. Yeah, I agree with that. But it's more vicious than that. Tucker Carlson made mention. He was on, what is it, the Redacted show. And the host, whose name slips me, most of us watched that show. Many of you saw that clip. You know, and he asked Tucker Carlson, what are the subjects and topics that you are afraid of? And he said, well, the 2020 election, I don't know why I said that. I mean, that's done with and it's whatever. Maybe he knows something we don't know. But he also said the subject of aliens and the dark side to it. And he said this, but it resonated with me because I've been feeling this all along in the last couple of weeks. And I don't care who thinks I'm crazy. I'm going to tell you what it is, what I feel. See, after CERN, and I said this before, but I'm going to say it a different way. CERN is that big thing in Switzerland that's really big, and they're trying to find the God particle, and they had the molecules and atoms smash each other, and something's supposed to happen. This is what they say. But you spend that much money on this thing for so many decades, and it didn't work. It didn't work. Oh, I want to greet everybody, but I'm on a thought flow right now. I see you, Gifty. She said Tucker Carlson is done about face. He sure has. But we look at this stuff like it's hocus pocus. See, the religion is supposed to strengthen us, make us stronger, so we can take flight. Religion is like those rockets on a spaceship to push us up, because we know we have no awareness of this thing consciously. So once the rockets did its job and got the spaceship going straight up, it drops back down to the earth. But so many of us get caught up in the rockets that we don't think about the spaceship. And when it drops back down, we fall back down with it, back to the lower vibrational indulgences. So we use religion to smooth over the wickedly sweet things we do. Yes, I said sweet, because on this level and in this world, sin appears to be something that's sweet, but it's pulling away from your essence. And the more we saturate our mental, physical, and spiritual tissues with the sweetness of sin, which is a temporary sweetness, don't you know, and I'll say it again, on a spiritual level, there's always a physical example from which you can draw from, so you can make the comparison and grasp the concept. Well, I learned from a bodybuilder who is a world-class bodybuilder, and I did a couple shows with him. I met him when I was 15, and I interviewed him when I was 51. His name is Bill Grant. He's from New Jersey. He was a professional bodybuilder. Yes, he's much, much older now. So I said, he's still alive. I hope to bring him back on. We had a wonderful conversation. And I was at the meeting where you get to meet these guys before the Night of the Champions bodybuilding competition in 1978. Yes, I'm an old geezer. I was a 15-year-old boy then, and I overheard him speaking, because now we get to see these guys that we saw in the magazines. There was no video back then. Childhood idols. I didn't idolize people, but we knew them for being on an ascended level with bodybuilding and physical culture. And I heard him say that sugar, any kind of sugar, needs B vitamins or the B complex to be digested. If you take sugar that's stripped away, like white sugar, and you put it in your system, the B vitamins that are water soluble, meaning that you urinate them out. What is it? Vitamin B and vitamin C, A and D are fat. They go into your fat and get stored in your fat. That's how they can get toxic. But the B vitamins, if you don't have it present in something that's sugary, natural sugar, then you take the leached out sugar, the white sugar, the processed sugar, and you're leaching B vitamins out of your system to be digested. I'm always connecting dots where they shouldn't be connected. And I always thought about that. And on a spiritual level, right? When you indulge in the sweetness of sin, sugar is sweet, but it ain't good for you. Sin is sweet, but it's not good for you. So the more you indulge in this thing, is the more you leach out your potential to ascend higher. You're pushing yourself lower. You're lowballing yourself. You see? But many of us can't see that. And I feel the sparks on the visuals sometimes. I'm a man. But I have to keep myself in check because I know that to these demons who I feel are aliens as they're presented, this earth, I feel, and in my opinion, is a soul trap. If you allow yourself to go there, if you indulge enough so that this realm and this level becomes that for you. But if you indulge in the sweetness of obedience to divine law, we ain't talking religion, right? We're going to argue about religion. We're talking about spirituality. We're talking about that flight, when we take flight. Like the plane goes down the runway and taxis down the runway and it begins to pick up speed and then it takes flight. And I'll say it again for this particular segment. We don't know how we're going to live, how long we're going to live. We might live to 100 years old. I know people I know who died at 15 and 16 in high school. Rest in peace to my friend Arthur Patterson. Didn't even graduate high school, and he passed away from natural causes. And he has a child from a sister named Tracy. This is in high school. And while it was looked at, oh man, you got it messed up. You got a baby coming in, you're not even out of high school. Well, it was a divine intervention now because he'll live on through his child. But some of us may live to 100. Some, as soon as we're born, we're out of here. Some live to 20, 60, whatever it may be. It's not for us to freak out and wonder how long our taxiing on the runway will be. Because before the runway is over, we need to take flight. And some of us are taking time for granted, which I will always say is an artificial construct on this level. Because in the spiritual realms, there is no thing called time. That's one thing I know. But if you're taxiing down the runway and you're 60 and 65 and 70, but your runway is going to end at 85, and here you are at 82 taxiing without picking up speed to take flight, you know you're going to roll off that runway. And they always keep a body of water to help the planes and helicopters. Some reason they always have some man-made situation or somewhere near something natural. I couldn't tell you the science of that. That's something I'll still have to Google, but I'm quite sure you all know that. The bottom line is that you're going to act like you live into 100, but your runway ends at 30. You'll never take flight. If you can take flight as early as you can in your spiritual ascension on this level, you're good. But so many of us are taxiing because we're indulging in the lower vibrational indulgences. And that's what makes us sweet to the demons that the government and the media is presenting as aliens in the soul trap on this level. If you go off course, and we're not supposed to go off course, but we can go off course. You can go over the double yellow line sometimes when you drive. If you look, you got to peek, and you can't do it all the time. If there's a 2-lane road, one half going one way and forward, and the other half coming back, you don't look to overtake that vehicle when the road is turning right and you're behind it, because you can't see around what's coming. Either that road has to be straight or it has to be kind of going to the left so you can see what's coming. And when you see nothing coming, you say, you know what? I'm going to get around this slow pickup truck because he's slowing me down. But if you make a bad decision and can't have full view of what your destiny is going to be, it's easy to have a head-on collision. You see what I mean? And this is what I've learned. I just glanced at the chat room. My brother Al Kebula, man, you know what I'm learning? That many of us who possess melanin are even worse than the blue-eyed people that are mutants and aliens. I'm not elevating them. I'm saying that we're out of character. And so lots of times in our projection of them being who they are, and we know who they are, we look at the brother or the sister who looks like us with various degrees of melanin and give them a pass, and that's the very one who pulls the trigger on the righteous things that we're trying to do. So right now, I got to go on a case-by-case basis. Like they say, every brother ain't a brother. And me doing this stuff online, for those who don't know, I didn't come here to be on YouTube. I was already out there before YouTube existed with the artwork and the writing. I was already known. And I'll say it again, on Black Planet, my old page, before YouTube came into existence, I had 352,000 followers. But I killed that page because it became nothing more than a booty call site. So I'm not out here for this type of fame. Nobody knew that I talked. I talked through my illustrations and my writing. There was a time I used to write erotica. That got me out there, but I had issues with it from within at the time, and I stopped doing that. It was pretty damn good stuff, I might say, but different from what you might expect. So I've been around the block for so many different categories of life. And even though I'm 60 years old, that doesn't mean I'm better than anybody because I might be older than somebody, but it's been a very intense 60 years, which I think the wisdom that I've gained from it is like a person who lived to 120, because it's been one damn thing after another. And for the most part, I learned from it. I learned from it. And right now, I'm going to keep the work going, but I don't even care about this YouTube thing. Never did. The fame and this person's getting more hits than you and this one, because they manipulate those things. So all I can do is be real and save my work for other platforms that may appreciate me a little more. And again, like I said, LanceScurv.com, y'all. That's where everything is. LanceScurv.com. If you don't know, now you know. Who said that? Biggie. All the different platforms that you can find me on, it's right there. I'll let that sit for a little while so there'll be no excuse. You see on the bottom of scrolling, LanceScurv.com. But all I'm saying is that with these so-called aliens, okay, let me just tell you what I think. Let me stop trying to bring it a little, because if folks disagree, they're going to disagree anyway. Let me tell you something. This is what's in my spirit, y'all. Let me just say it. There comes a time when you got to pull that titty out. You know what I mean? Stop fronting. Let's get to it. Listen, the government, this is what's in my spirit. The government done made a deal with these demons. The people who have earthly power in the wicked system of oppression over us have made a deal with these demonic forces that were brought forth even more so because CERN was executed perfectly. And of the fabric between hell or the spiritual realm or the lower vibrations were ripped, and like a bat out of hell, these things came and flooded the earth. I know there has always been death and killing and war and diseases, but this world today so fast is off the chain. I don't care what they say about Sodom and Gomorrah. Sodom and Gomorrah was a tea party, was a picnic compared to this world right now. We got apps for different things, for specific sex acts. We got these hate groups. We got these people who are in these different weird religions that are cults that don't want to hear nothing about the outside world, but they got this celebrity worship over the person who's leading. We're all oblivious in our own worlds, chattering and cackling and arguing and not seeing reality for what it was. We can never unify as long as we have these strange ass ideologies. And you think social media was given to us to be used as a good thing. Of course, we can use it as a good thing, but it wasn't given to us to give us clarity. We are more confused than we ever been. We can't even speak truth. We can't even say that something's wrong with a man who wears a dress and tells you he's a woman as he sachets into the woman's bathroom. Come on, females, sisters, you sitting on the toilet and you see some size 13 pumps sitting next to you. You know, you peek down and see the people's feet next to you. It's like, what the hell? What kind of woman is that? Sitting next to you with a big gut, making noise that no woman could make. Big Adam's apple and a wig slapped on their head. You can't say anything about it. You better accept that. And your little daughter's going to that same bathroom, and you got these twisted people. People cutting their breasts off so they don't look feminine. Getting rid of their genitals and cutting it off. Let me tell you, there ain't no sweetness to that. All of that, hey, knock the video down, thumbs it down, or take it away. I'm on other platforms, so I'm going to save it anyway. I'm recording all of this. But they were right up until 1973 with certain things being classified as a mental illness. Oh, I can't say that? Oh, I can't say this is what you'll classify it as? I got to be in denial about that? No, facts are facts. If you come at me the right way. But these newly released demons are circling this prison planet that we're on, that we just can't get a break from, that the elite in every industry, whether it be the entertainment industry, music industry, Hollywood, politics, religion, all of these things that we're supposed to honor and obey, and if we obey them, we'll have a better life. How many of you can say that because you obey these things on the lower levels as they hand it to you, that your life is better? Every 4 years, you're voting for somebody who promises you the world. Barack Obama came into office and left after 8 years and didn't do a damn thing for black people. Right? We're being hoodwinked. Malcolm X was ahead of his time when he said these things. Right? It's just strange how we don't see what's really around us. There's so many things that we have to compete with in our head as us being the meal for these demons is being prepared. Like I said earlier before, and I'll say it again. You got that turkey that's out in the yard. January, February, you fattening them up. He's running around in the yard. Oh boy, the people that take care of me, they just feed me so well. And when it comes down to November, when it comes down to so-called Thanksgiving, that holiday that no black person should be celebrating, right? That deadly, wicked holiday of death, rape and theft. Are we supposed to be thankful to what God for that? That proves these people are worshiping demons. You say God, but what God? We got to clarify that. Is it the righteous manifestation or is it something else? But yeah, I'll agree with you, Al-Kebulin man, that yeah, they're wicked, they're evil, they're demons. But some of us want to sniff out their anus so much that we will become demons even more so than them to prove to them that we can sit next to them on the toilet. To prove to them that we're just as good, which means bad, in a good way, that they will accept us. Why do you want to be accepted by demons in this world? But the actual shape-shifting ones that come from other dimensions, not just other planets, the way they make you seem. I used to think that, well, UFOs probably came from underwater since 75% of the earth is covered in water and has not been explored. You can give Jacques Cousteau, when he was living, another 1,000 years to explore. There's no way he's going to get to the bottom of the sea. I said, well, there's caves and mountains down there. Maybe that's where they're coming from. No, they're coming from a different dimension. And they have an intelligence about them. Just don't think they're ugly little things looking at you. Most demonic entities are smarter than you. I don't care how much degrees you have. And even still, you better be on point in your spiritual ascension. And even then, it's hard whipping a demon. I feel that artificial intelligence comes from that base of demonic knowledge, demonic wisdom. How are you going to type in something and ask a question that's going to give you something long to read out? You got to have chat GTP detectors now, because children in school, they going home and inputting what they need to have spit out at them, and bloop, they go to book report in 5 seconds. This is not of this world. There's no way. Intelligence, artificial intelligence. This is something given to us to dumb us down so we have more time to indulge in the sweetest cuisine of sin, which makes us more appetizing for us because we're getting fatter and fatter in decadence, which this is what they like, because they hate us for the potential to rise above this level and soul trap of a planet with all of the things offered to us to indulge in to make us a delicious meal for these demons. And if we don't indulge, we're sour to them. We don't taste good to them. They don't want to take a bite. And we're free to ascend. But again, you don't know how long you have on this level. You don't know. Your plane is taxiing down the runway. You might have 4 more years. You better hurry up and take flight. You might have 50. Take flight as soon as you can and don't waste any time. Reject the stuff that they offer for us to indulge in. And it's so bad that even the lighter stuff that we deem to be light, well, that can't be so bad because it's relative in comparison to what we see on social media. Mind control. We feel that unless we have our internet on and unless we have our phone on, that we're missing something. And we don't focus on what is going in inside of ourselves. Your thoughts, your soul, your feelings, your perspectives. I'm a content creator. I vibe with other people. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody else, but everything I talk about, I ponder and I think, and it comes from within, comparing experiences and situations in life and stringing together things in a unique way to say, hey, possibly this could be it. But for me right now, ain't no aliens. They're demons. So when you start to see things with your naked eye or third eye, oh, that's just an alien. The government had contact with it. It can't be that bad. No, these things are from different realms. This is why you cannot catch them. They may say they caught a ship and this. To me, that's a distraction. And remember, it doesn't have to be something that looks ugly. It could be fine as heck. I know this for a fact. When I used to drive the bus in Orlando, Florida, boy, there were some women that came and sat in the front as tourists and talked to me for the whole ride. Oh, I love your conversation. Can I ride with you on another trip? Well, sure. If it's the law, you can ride as much as you want. Before that trip was over, they let me know, oh, I'm over by this hotel in this room. And most men, after she got off, they're like, man, I know you ain't gonna be a damn fool and turn that down. I'm like, man, I ain't stupid. That thing ain't real. Yes, it was a real woman or real women, but it was not real. It was something to pull me down and to average me out. And I was not going to do it. I know how these things work. I have seen demons with my own eyes. I saw the ugly versions of them, yes, that don't appear to be of this realm. I told you the story when I was with my friend Carlos. We grew up together, and he moved into the neighborhood in 1971. I moved into the neighborhood at 5 years old, 5.5 years old in 1968. We've known each other all those years. And again, I got at least 10 friends, close friends, that they all know each other. Not just one here, one there, and several decades of connectedness. You see? And we had, and I'm going to tell it quick because I know you're all tired of hearing it. We moved the washer and dryer to a friend of ours in her apartment in Brooklyn, and they wouldn't allow you to bring your own. You had to buy theirs or rent theirs. So she just wanted to buy it, pay the security guard, middle of the night, boom, we brought it up, came down, went to the chicken spot, ate some stuff out there in the parking lot, 3 o'clock in the morning. Girls coming out the club, we talking to them, whatever. So we decided to leave. We're driving down this dark street. It's a warehouse district, warehouse area. And we see something go on the street, maybe 8 car lengths away, about 8, 9 feet tall, looking like it was flaming, about the color of those letters here, the red and the yellow, and all in between. It was walking forward, almost like it was moonwalking, but it was sliding across as it walked real slow. And this thing, it was like flames. We don't get high, we don't drink. We get to the corner in a couple of seconds because it's only 8 car lengths away. We're trying to get down there, turn the corner, see what it is. There's no doors on that warehouse. There's no windows there. Where did it go? We knew that we just saw something that wasn't of this world. I remember coming from the Bronx late one night. I did a show with my friend Maureen Wright. I was visiting her. It was late at night. I was coming home. And I was coming down the Cross Bronx Expressway or Bronx River Parkway to the Cross Bronx Expressway. And so there's a turn that goes all the way around. And when you hit these turns on the highway, when you're merging into another highway, you'll see the skid marks of the tires that went up against the side of the side of the little wall there. Like they were drunk and and it scraped up and you see the rubber all up and down. It's crazy. And the car drops, boom. So I'm making sure I wasn't sleepy, but I'm taking the turn. And all of a sudden, I'm not saying these were demonic entities. I'm just sharing a few of my experiences because this is real. The spiritual realm is real. Just because you can't always see it, many of us feel it, and we don't recognize it for what it is. I feel more than I see. When I'm in touch with myself, I can feel things. I can feel the good. I can feel the demonic. I can feel the intentions, the hidden agendas and secret motivations. I can feel it. And it tells me, not in a voice that I hear, but I hear it on a spiritual level. Well, anyway, I'm making this turn, trying to get on to the Cross Bronx Expressway to get over to eventually the Whitestone Bridge and come over into Queens. So I noticed that there were 4 people coming up on this turn, standing on the side of the road this time of night. I said, well, maybe they were broke down or something. As I got closer to them, I noticed they were dressed funny. They were dressed very conservative, but they looked like something out the 1940s to me, the 40s or 50s, when things were conservative. It looked to be a mother, a father, well-dressed, like they were coming out of church, and 2 little girls. And the little girls, the way they were dressed, with the ponytails and the dresses they had on, let me know this was not from that particular time. And this was back in the 80s, late 80s. And I thought to myself, maybe I need to slow down and, offer them a ride or something. They're out here this time of night. So I started to hit the brake. And when I looked in the rearview mirror, I didn't see anybody. Man, I hit that gas so fast, I was out. Maybe it was an accident. Maybe it was some kind of spiritual loop where maybe their souls were gone, but I caught a glimpse of what happened. Or maybe, I don't know. But I know there's something more than what the schools are telling us. There's something more to what we should be knowing. But we're listening to these things on social media, but we don't go in. But to me, with the tension, like food cooking in the kitchen, on the stove, it's heating up. The threat of war, The racial hate, the tensions, the hopelessness. It's heating up like a meal. And these entities are around us. We're indulging in the decadence to escape the pain. We want the pleasure, but we don't want the pain. Pleasure and pain are two of the most highly motivating forces in our life. We don't want the pain, though, but we want the pleasure. And so we go after the pleasure. And the menu of pleasure is handed to us while we scroll through Instagram. Come on, fellas, you know what you see when you go on there. And it leads you on to come on home and go to those sites and sit down while the camera watches you. You're being surveilled. The very things you look at are being recorded. So it's kicked back to you on the screen and also kicked back to you in real life because you gave it up. You think you're the only person in that room when you're in there jerking off? Artificial intelligence, they already know. They know what turns you on. They know what you lust after, even if it's the materialistic. And they give you an opportunity to get it, but doing something illegal and you riding the fence, you're tired of being frustrated, you're tired of not making enough money. Why is it that in this system, no matter what area of expertise that you're in, it's always a balance where you always seem to be just over broke or just making it, or something comes out of nowhere to suck down the money that you have. Most of us don't get an unexpected check, but maybe there was a time you did. You might have got a check for $1,000. Let's just make this up. Maybe it was only 50. I don't know. But whatever it is, let's just say it was $1,000. All of a sudden you get 2 or 3 things or one thing within the next 2 days that add up to $1,050. Like, you ain't taking this. It's some kind of twisted imbalance. Or I could say balance, because it keeps things balanced in a way negatively against your ambitions to break you down. It just seems like there's something out there to continue to break us down, and we keep trying. Like the song says, we fall down and we get up. I always said that was the official theme of roaches. We get sprayed down and we get up. Termites are worse, y'all, than roaches. They determine. I'm going to tell you all about that someday soon. There's always something to break our spirit, to push us toward the sweetness of sin, to keep us on a lower vibration. We just give up. We need, I got to go get a drink. Let me go out there and go by the stroll in the red light district and get me a whore. Whatever. Why is it always those things? Why can't we indulge in meditation, clean out our stomachs, clean out our bodies, think good things, righteously isolate ourselves just a little bit to get us out of that loop of things that are offered? It's because we are the meal that's being prepared for these demons that are running across the land, seeking to devour, to kill and destroy. They don't have any hope for ascension to the higher levels, so they're jealous of you. They're envious of you because they can't go where you're going if you do right. If you listen to that inner voice. But when you reject the inner voice that is put in all of us to guide us and take us to the places where we have to go, we have to meditate, we have to, hey, listen, y'all don't like the word pray, but look, if you don't like the word pray, then don't hate the word pray. What do I mean by that? If you don't like the word pray, P-R-A-Y, I'm not saying it in a religious sense. I'm saying it as far as meditation, then you like P-R-E-Y, and that's what you're going to be if you don't pray within yourself and meditate and sharpen the spiritual swords that we all have and develop it, because this is spiritual warfare. Hey, we coming up in a rough time, but there have been rough times before us. There have been other pandemics that were real and really killed people off. There were wars that killed hundreds of thousands, millions when you add it up. There have been times of poverty. There's some people out here in the world that are so poor that you being broke sometime is luxury to them, and they'll trade places at any moment. because we don't know the depths of it, because we've become soft. We got to understand that this level that we're on now is an assessment by how we deal with things. It's a placement exam for eternity. When you take the college entrance exam, they want to know what you know and what you don't know. Because if you don't do too good in the part with math, you're going to have to take a remedial math course, or English. You're going to have to take a remedial English course, and you suck your teeth like, I didn't come here for this. I didn't come here to go back and learn no damn math or no English. I came here to be an engineer on certain levels. I came here to be someone who has a specific area of expertise. I didn't come here to get treated like no kid. I'm out of high school. You know, I learned what I had to learn. But this level, that's what it is. You know why? Because although it may feel long when we're younger, the older you get, yes, and the perception of time goes by faster, but I do feel like, I'm going to say it every show, the days are going by in 16 hours. They're erasing the clock. In actuality, they're playing with the actual fiber of time. They're not going up on your wall and twisting the hour hand around, and it's not really that time. But things are moving faster because we're cooking up faster. We're indulging in the sin faster and deeper. We're getting into those delicious fetishes that we have. And it makes us sweet to these demons. So they want to introduce it as aliens. They're not showing us anything, but eventually we'll get a peek. And it may be a friendly exchange. But they're giving us technology, but they already are. Giving us things that are so advanced. And we don't know it. And we're cooking up on a planet. The scenario I have, the way I see it, just like we have satellites all around the planet, these things are lurking up in the sky, looking down. There's so many of them that we can't see. And the more we indulge in the sweetness of sin, is the faster it's bringing us who are the meal for them. It's time to eat soon. And when the time is ripe, so many of us will be devoured. I'm not just saying on a physical level. Well, this nigga done got crazy, man. He said the aliens up there, they're going to come down and eat us. You know you're going to have some fool out there. I wish there was a fine alien come down and eat me. I ain't had nothing in 5 years. You know they're going to say that. I'm not talking about the physical. I'm talking about on a spiritual level, because this is spiritual warfare. So don't be fooled by this. Oh, they're aliens from outer space. Oh, they can operate all around us. We don't see them, but they're waiting for the meal of us to be prepared, because the more sin we indulge in, low vibrational behavior, is the sweeter we are. This is why they're encouraging us to indulge that way. See? And again, I'm going to come back with some more on this. I'm not going to stay too long. I just wanted to give this assessment because this thing also called the Great Reset has a lot to do with it. See, the Great Reset is where we're separated. Those who are not going in the right place and those who are. I'm not talking about a heaven or hell type thing. But those who are devoured, they're gone. But those who don't taste as good because of our refusal to indulge in the seasoning of sin, we ain't going to taste too good to these entities that hate us anyway. They hate the fact that we can go higher. Yes, it does tie in to the melanin, but most of us and many of us are not activating the melanin properly. So we know who the demons are who've been ruling this planet, but these other demons teamed up and they're selling us out. They're selling us out. And we selling ourselves out and don't even damn know it. So we got to resist the temptations of this world because it's making us sweet to these demons because we're playing into what they want. You see? So that's where I am right now. And there's a few more things I want to say. I just want to see the feedback. I know I'm going to be called crazy. Oh, you don't know the Bible like I do. You don't know. I know somebody who's a spiritualist and what. No, I'm just saying it like it's real at the risk of being looked at as a nutcase. You know? I don't know what to say, but all I know is that this world that we've been told and educated / indoctrinated about, we need to take the training wheels off of that foolishness and ride freely and use the balance that's innate inside of us. You can only ride with training wheels for so long, because after a while it's going to limit you when you want to make a sharp turn. We got to get into that meditation, that intuition, that inner voice. If you want to call it third eye or gift of discernment, whatever way you want to call it, because that's the only way. And for those who claim religion and they say that you better have the word in you, because it's going to come a time when a physical book will be taken away. It'll be contraband. It'll be illegal. So you better be like that lawyer who's well studied that he doesn't have to bring his books into the court. He studied the book so well that he don't need it. But that neophyte, that upstart, that freshly graduated lawyer, he has to keep books under to go back and refer to. Don't be that. Do what counts. Most of this stuff in this life is not going to help you to ascend. And like I said before, with the food, I'm going to use this analogy maybe every show. On a food level, and like I said, everything in the spirit realm has an example in the physical. So when you eat, if you eat good food, non-GMO, natural food, it brings you up physically. If you eat fried up pork, junk food, slimy, canned up, whatever, it brings you down. It may not do it overnight, but that trajectory has changed. And over time, you can see who's taking care of themselves. It's the same way in the spirit world. Either some things can blind your third eye, your gift of discernment, and other things like meditation and reading and vibing with other people can bring it up. And you take flight. And one may have a runway of 100 years and the other one have one of 35 years, but you both take flight, and there it doesn't matter. But no matter how long your runway is, you have ample time. It wouldn't be fair. The one who created us said, okay, you're going to die at 25, but you can get it by 15. It's up to those other entities to keep you caught up in those things where you don't think about taking flight, and you don't even crash. You don't even leave the ground. You got to understand, you don't even leave. That's worse than crashing. That you never even had a chance to take flight. Ain't that something? That's just amazing. That's just what it is. But I'm going to wrap this down right now. I just want to say that I love you all. Maybe you didn't catch a few of the things I said. Maybe it doesn't make sense. I don't know. It's just like I'm that person who's a cook, or the person who cooks real good in the house, and you brought a bunch of groceries and said, hey, throw something together for me. I'm like, oh, what is it that you got here? How do I make sense of this? That's what it is. Anyway, I'm looking forward to, get the feedback. I see y'all, Kibble, man. I see you. The word ain't going to protect you from your enemies. An eye for an eye and a life for a life. Yeah. But you know what? For a long time, I subscribed to that. And that is something that, hey, I'm not against you on that. Because sometimes you got to speak the language of the enemy. You understand? If you backed up in the corner, you ain't going to say no word now, right? I'm talking about the meditation, the intuition, the development of the spirit man on the inside that ain't got nothing to do with the physical. Because, I mean, unless we're going to be in our bodies forevermore, we got to think. We got to think. Because everything that's presented to us as far as a battle, it's on different levels or multiple levels. We have to be real slick with it. You see? Sometimes we got to let some things slide. Sometimes we got to go after it. But I tell you one thing, I know I got a warrior spirit. I'm not a killer. But you ain't going to come to do that to me, and I'm going to let you do that. You best believe that. Or my loved ones, and even some who are here in the chat room. I'm not going to let nothing happen to you. We're going to take care of business. And I'll go home and sleep deep and have a good meal and enjoy my life. I'm not against that. But now we have to think higher. Even on the race level, we got to think higher. Because all of that is nullified when we get around people who look like us, who we looking at somebody, oh, there go the pale one over there. That's the demon. And we're surrounded by demons that speak the same language. They can speak the same language of saying, oh, we got to unify. We got to wake up. And they got the knife behind their back, ready to pull it out and jam it in yours. Trust me, my social media experience, I learned a whole lot. That's why I know, just like in the reading that I wrote and I spoke on, it gives you an insight to sniff trouble before you get there, before it appears. And those people wondering, how the hell did he do me in this way? What did he know? What did he hear? It's that intuition that speaks to you long before you get there and others can't see it. So you subdue your enemies even before they have a chance to raise their fist to punch you in the face, before they have a chance to open that little bottle and drop it in your food to make you die. You already know. Just stay focused, because it's not about just the physical. And these demons are not going to look just like the ones you see on this banner. Trust me. You're probably trying to get with some of them right now. I'm not saying anyone here. You know what I mean? That's the bottom line. But anyway, just want to say much love to you all. And, I'm glad you all are here. Like, share, and subscribe, all that good stuff. And just know that it's a heck of a journey, this life, but I've learned so much. I've learned so much. Take care, everybody. We'll be back. And I might go in Clubhouse later on. I don't know if I will, but I'm going to start posting when I do. Sometimes I do things impromptu. For those who like to peek and don't want to show their face, who are not part of this group anymore, you won't find me because I go under my name, but my name is not associated with the rooms that I create. So you're going to have to get it from me directly, because I know who's watching and who's peeping and who's gossiping and doing. I don't care. If that's all you can do, you're going to miss it and taxi down the runway while you run your mouth, and you ain't going to take flight. And you can't blame me on that. Just watch out for these demons out here. These demons are real. Much love to you all. Peace out. LanceScurv out.